Welcome back to Christ College OpenCourseWare. Today we discuss about wastewater treatment. In the previous sessions we discussed about what is water pollution, what are the different water quality parameters, etc. Now we discuss with the wastewater treatment process. For the introduction purpose, wastewater treatment is any process that make water more acceptable for specific end use. That is a simple definition of wastewater treatment. Also, to reduce the concentration of specific pollutant to the level at which the effluent will not adversely affect the environment or pose a health threat. That is another definition for wastewater treatment. Any process that make water more acceptable for specific end use is known as wastewater treatment. The treatment process mainly classified into primary treatment, secondary treatment, and tertiary. Tertiary treatment is otherwise known as disinfection. These are the main steps that involved in the wastewater treatment process. In physical process, first we discuss about the primary treatment methods. That's mainly, it is also called as physical process that remove large solid complex compounds are settled down. That is, for example, that is a large material like rock particles, plastic materials, box, etc. can be removed in the first treatment steps. Remove floating materials also in this step. Application of different physical process include filtration, sedimentation, coagulation are the different steps that involved in the primary treatment process. The primary treatment process mainly involve different steps are there. First step is a screening, that is otherwise called filtration. There are different types of screens are used for filtration. That is bar screens are there, rotating filters are there, grid filters are there, etc. The sedimentation is a process to settle down, to allow the material to settle down the water, bottom of the water. Then coagulation is a process of adding a chemical to increase the chance of sedimentation. That is a process of coagulation. A chemical add to the water bodies, the water system to, or treatment water to settle down the smallest particle combined to form a large water and settle down. Consists of screens, grid chamber, detritus tank, skimming tank, etc. That are the different steps, the process that involved in the primary treatment. Then first we discuss about screens. Screens are the first unit of treatment plants. It is to remove large floating materials or particles that settle down by gravitationally. In this step, we can remove the floating materials and the large particles by using gravitational settling process. Screening protect other downstream unit from obstruction caused by large debris. For example, if large particles is present in the next step, the pipe will be blocked, the joints of the pipe, plumbing or the motor will be affected badly. Screen chamber mainly made up of stainless steel because it's directly contact the water and its chance of rusting is there. That's why we use stainless steel material. Size may be in uniform sized screens are used. Screens are the grid of chamber. There's a grid filter. Large type of filter is there. Then next is the working of this filter. Raw sewage enter the chamber through the inlet pipe. First step is the wastewater is coming to a pipe and there is a filter is there. After the filter will remove the material and then second to the step. Floating objects are obstructed and collected near it. Other suspended material pass through the screen. Debris is disposed by dumping or burning, or it's used for, if biological material is there, it is used for composting purpose. That is a method. First the wastewater is coming inlet pipe, then screen, then is debris is collected here near and transferred to dumping, burning or composting process. These are the same steps of a simple picture that shows the debris collecting screen. Next to the debris screen, there is another equipment is there, commutator, that crush the material. Next, we can be next step of the wastewater treatment is the process is the detritus tank to remove finer organic and inorganic particles. Remove the finer particles in effluent enter from the grid chamber. Finer suspended particles settle down at the bottom. Deposited sediments are cleaned, also agitated by scrappers. That is a detritus tank. Next to the screen, the wastewater is coming from after the screen is transferred to a tank. The tank have mainly the conical shape because the debris is collected in the bottom and is easy to wash out. That is the second tank is the detritus tank. And next to the detritus tank, there is a skimming tank is there. It is to remove the oil and grease. That's a tank. The purpose of the skimming tank to remove the oil particle or grease particles that are present in the wastewater. Sewage from detritus tank enter through the bent pipe. Compressed air is allowed to pass through the diffuser which forms air bubbles. Grease and oil are collected at the surface. That's the process of this tank. So again, the aerated tank is there. Simply it's a skimming tank is an aerated tank to remove oil and grease. Then next to this chamber, there's another equipment is there that is called a commutator. In many plants, there will be a commutator as a second treatment step. It is circular grinder designed to grind the soil particle that is coming through the screens. And also the purpose is make the small solid into a finer piece. That is a commutator. It's a grinding chamber. That is a commutator. Is a grinding chamber. In different type of wastewater treatment process, the location will be after the screen, or is maybe in some time it will be after the settling chamber. That is it's a process of grinding the material. Then it is remove the grit, sand, etc. There is a grit chamber, and after the commutator there is a grit chamber. There is a settling is there. Grit and sand can damage equipments such as pipe, flow meter, etc. Flow is slowed enough to allow the grit to settle down. There is after the commutator, the water will come to the next chamber, that is called a grit chamber. That is grit chamber. The flow rate of wastewater is very slow. Due to this flow rate is very slow flow rate, the sediments, that is a fine grit, sand, etc. will be settled down the bottom of this grit chamber. Next type of treatment is that is a primary or physical treatment process there. That is mainly by gravitational force. The secondary method, water leaving primary treatment has lost most of the solid organic matter but still contain some other compounds. That's contain biological compounds that decompose by microbial action. It contains mainly the biological process. That is, secondary treatment is a biological process. Primary process is a physical process. That's the difference. Mainly involve treatment by trickling filter and activated sludge process. Two different methods we can use for the secondary treatment process, that is trickling filter and activated sludge process. First, that we discuss about the trickling filter. Trickling filter, it is an anaerobic attached growth biological treatment process. Consists of equalization basin, settling tank, a filter medium, effluent water distribution system, etc. Filter medium consists of bed of inert material to which microorganism attached. Mainly the rock pebbles are used for the medium for this preparation of bed. Wastewater percolate through it. The consist of rock or plastic material, that's pebbles. Water distributed over the top of the filter medium. The individual rocks are covered by layer of biological film. That is a bacteria that attach to the rock or any plastic material. That is pebbles or like that. This film consists of mainly bacteria. There is aerobic bacteria is there. The accumulating biofilm periodically slide off and collect. That is a process of the trickling filter. These are the picture that's showing the trickling filter. That means that's a large huge tank that is filled with a filter. That is wastewater is coming from a bottom by this pipe, and there can be filter sprinkled to the entire system. Sometimes it is only a rotating filter system is there, simple standing filter system are also there. If the tank is round in shape, we use rotating filter as sprinklers. If there is a square in type, we can use as a static filters, sprinklers. Next is the activated sludge process. It's a typical type of suspended growth of biological treatment system, and is also most widely used one. It can only treat aqueous organic waste stream having less than 1% suspended solids. The system consists of an aeration tank, secondary sedimentation tank, sludge digestion tank, and sludge recycling line is there for the activated sludge process. Activated sludge means the sludge contain different type of microbes. This microbe can be used for again to treat the wastewater. That's the purpose. That is a process of activated sludge. Next is first is that is a aeration tank is there. It is a first system of activated sludge process. Activated sludge process is short form is ASP. The first step of the activated system is the aeration tank. First, we can aerate the water by using air bubbled through the water, provide necessary oxygen for survival of aerobic microorganisms. What is the purpose of this providing aeration is that the aeration will give the sufficient oxygen to the microbes to degrade the waste material that present in the water. Microorganism comes contact with the dissolved organic matter and decompose it. In earlier method of aeration sewage used compressed air, but it is still popular. Now mainly diffusers are used, jet diffuser, plate diffuser, tube diffuser are used. The diffuser is somewhat like in a fish tank we can use sand filters. Diffuser are there. That type of the diffusing to provide oxygen to the water. That is a diffuser, the purpose of diffuser. These are the simple picture. This is a picture that showing the aeration tank. Symbol is a tank with that we provide an aeration. That's a. Next is the secondary sedimentation tank. In the second step is ASP is the secondary sedimentation tank is there. It is the secondary sedimentation tank is also called secondary settling tank. The sedimentation tank is also called a secondary settling tank. Aerated sewage is allowed to enter the tank through the inlet chamber. Microorganisms in settling tank get activated. Sludge contain activated organisms get deposited in the bottom. The clarified effluent is escaped. That is the second step. First, wastewater coming from a tank, there is a tank, then it's activated, then the settle down. Some the clear effluent is come back to another pipe. Some portion of activated sludge deposited are pumped back to the aeration tank. They get more food in the organic compound in liquid entering from the primary clarifier, and this process start over again. Again, there are two tanks. First aeration tank, then sedimentation tank is there. First water is treated with the aerated, and then this aerated water is come back to the sedimentation tank. Then the sedimentation tank, somewhat is allowing to settle down the material that is bound to the top. That's a sludge is there. Then cleared water is come to the next pipeline. That's the process. Again, the sludge is some amount of the sludge is recycled back to the aeration tank. It is aerated. Then it is come back to the sedimentation, secondary sedimentation tank. These are the pictures that showing the sedimentation tank. First is the activated sludge tank, then final sedimentation tank, etc. Then next is the sludge digestion tank. Break the organic matter into liquid and simple compounds. Reduce the volume of sludge. Convert the sludge into fertilizer. That is the purpose of sludge digestion tank is there. Then the last step of wastewater treatment. That is a chemical treatment or disinfection. First step is a physical treatment. Second is a biological treatment. And third one is the chemical treatment, or it is otherwise known as disinfection. It involves a specialized treatment for destruction of harmful organisms. Different type of harmful bacteria or viruses are there in the wastewater. In this step, we can remove or kill the harmful bacteria by using a chemical or disinfectant. chlorination is widely using disinfection method in the world. Next, the different steps. These are the different steps that involved into the wastewater treatment. That is starting from one point to the end point. That is including raw wastewater coverage. There's filters are there, commutator are there, grid chamber are there, primary filtration system is there, actuated sludge treatment system is there, sedimentation tank is there, aeration tank is there, air compressor is there. These are the entire then secondary process. Primary, this is then primary, secondary and tertiary. Primary the physical process, secondary is the biological process, that including activated sludge process, settling chamber, etc. Aeration chamber is there. Then third part, that is a apply of disinfectant to the system, that is a chemical treatment. These pictures show the entire process of wastewater treatment. Just go through, you can identify the different steps in water treatment. Thank you for watching.